So Zeus's expert segue was about the fact that um, there are also Senate races on the ballot. It's not just the U.S. Um, presidency. And we had a top five some time ago about top five Senate debates coming up. Actually, one of my favorite top fives we've done.
It was a great episode too.
Yeah. One of them was Lindsey Graham versus Harrison. They had their debates. By all accounts, and maybe I'm just living in a liberal bubble. By all accounts, Harrison spanked Lindsey Graham at that debate. So much so that they had two more debates scheduled. Lindsey Graham decided that he didn't want to go to the second one because of, I think, something about being exposed to COVID. So he was like, "Yeah, I'm not going to go." I was like, "Okay." And
But
then
he didn't believe him.
And then he didn't want to go to the third one just because he didn't want to go, because Harrison is outraising him, like with campaign funding from like other states and stuff, and also he knows that every time he talks on the debate stage, it's actually hurting his numbers, so he's not going to do more debates. Same thing with Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell actually was one of those that I thought his race is very safe. I still think he's going to win. But I think after that debate with Amy McGrath, where he just,
I think it's like 40 to 52 or something like that now. So
40 to 52. No, it's not that wide. Can't be that wide. 12
it's
points.
about yeah, I saw something around there where they were talking about it because a lot of people were like, well, if you had got the other guy and maybe he would have had a better. But I'm like, look, Mitch McConnell was gonna
not in Kentucky.
Yeah.
But yeah, so McConnell is leading by a pretty wide margin, but I don't believe it's as wide as it once was before the debate. Yeah, I think you're right. I see 50 to 40 in like the latest one. So plus 10 McConnell. It was wider before though. And it's because McConnell would do this thing where they'd ask him a question about the pandemic, and he just laugh it off, scuff it off. We talked about that before. And he's now said that he doesn't want to do any more debates. Doesn't feel like he has to, And I think part of it is either he doesn't feel like he has to, or he feels like he would hurt himself by doing more. Same thing with Tuberville in Alabama, that's running against Doug Jones. He hasn't done a single debate. He doesn't want to debate Jones at all because he knows Jones knows a lot more about policy than Tuberville does. Tuberville is here as the football coach that's going to come drain the swamp.
What state is this again?
Alabama. Yeah.
Okay.
As a football coach that's going to come drain the swamp, but clearly knows nothing about what the people of Alabama need. So he hasn't done a single debate. The Doug Jones seat was looking a little, scary before. I think Jones actually has a chance to hold on to that seat now. So that's good to see.
Look, it's a red state. Red states votes against their own interest because of this whole stupid idea of this guy follows my values. If your value is for him to look out for himself, then yes, he does follow your values.
I mean, what values? Like, we don't even know what he stands for if he's not going to stand for a debate. It's silly. So anyway, and then the last one, Purdue versus Ossoff. Ossoff spanked Purdue at the debate. Like, it was viral nationally.
He verbally bitch slapped him.
Yeah.
Like, that's my favorite phrase to say. He verbally he destroyed him because he straight up told him, was like, look, you're trash. This is why you're trash. Now say something. So that's basically what he did. And now I saw the viral part. You could tell me, did you see the actual debate?
No, I didn't see the actual debate.
Okay, so
I saw other clips of the debate.
But all the clips from the debate have been John Ossoff basically going into David Perdue, and then basically putting David Perdue's own actions against him.
Yeah.
And so that's making me think that John Ossoff might actually have a really good chance. And then those have been debates. I would like to ask you about certain predictions in a second.
So the last three polls following that debate, so from the 27th to 28th, the public policy polling has Ossoff up by 3. Landmark Communications from the 28th has them even, and then Monmouth University has Ossoff up by 2. These are all within the margin of error, but it bodes well for him in that race. But anyway, yeah. So they had that debate, and then Perdue decided that he doesn't want to sit for the debate on Sunday. His campaign spokesman said, as much as would like to hear Ossoff spew more lies, we're not going to come to the debates. Instead, he's going to go to a rally, a Trump rally. I mean, that shows you what he thinks about the people of Georgia. It's like, no, I don't need to, defend myself to you guys. I don't need to, I'm just going to go to a Trump rally.
Because a lot of you are still going to vote for me.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I don't have to do anything to earn your votes. So yeah, it's a trend, man, of these like Republican senators feeling like they're above it. I've never seen that before, where people are just gonna be like, I'm not gonna go to the debate.
It's what I told you. I honestly feel that a lot of things are happening where the old school party, well, not the old school party, right? Because old school Republicans were respectable. These guys were spineless at the time. John McCain, like I said, because after his wife, they did the clip of, remember John McCain taking the mic away from the lady who just kept calling Barack Obama all this and all that. And he's like,
terrorist. No. I think he's a Muslim. I think he's a terrorist.
Yeah, he was like, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. He is the last of a dying breed, really. He really is. So what you're seeing is you're seeing all these spineless guys just being afraid. Honestly, they really are. They're afraid of losing, and they know that they can't speak, but they also know if they stay silent, they have a better chance, which is sad.
Yeah, so it's like they don't want to speak to
prove that they're a fool,
to either endorse or malign Trump, but they also that's basically it. they don't want to speak because they could either malign him or they could endorse him, and either way would be bad for them, because if they endorse him, then the middle ground are like, well, I definitely don't want Trump, and now I don't want you either. If they don't endorse him, then the Republicans side would be like, oh, you're not endorsing our president, so we're not going to vote for you. So it's like a lose-lose for them, and they feel like it would be better for them to just not answer questions instead.
Yeah. So real quickly, I want to ask you, so give me some predictions. Mitch McConnell, win or lose?
Mitch McConnell's going to win.
Win. Lindsey Graham. And Harrison. Thank you.
I think if the election is above board, like they don't suppress votes, because South Carolina is one of those double envelope states, naked ballots. If everything is above board, I really believe Harrison can win that one. I would say Harrison.
And I will tell you, with I feel like North Carolina is one of those states that they're like, yeah, we are South, but also don't mess with us.
Yeah, North Carolina is very much purple. I kind of get that vibe,
even from the old school, the Republicans there. They're like, no, you suppress me, you're suppressing me too. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, because the thing is, I think we're also putting too much weight into mail-in voting for Democrats only. There's a lot of older Republicans who do mail-in voting too.
Yeah, there's a lot of old people that are being affected by this, and they're not thinking.
So that might affect that might do something, but of course it depends on who's going to fight for those older people who, you know what I mean, like who is going to go up there and fight for them on their right to vote. So I think so between McConnell, sadly I think McConnell is going to win, but I honestly think he's going to win by his lowest margin ever, which is going to actually look bad for him going forward. Where if he decides not to retire, which I think he is going to retire. After this one, I think this is his last one, because I feel like what's going to happen is, overall, I'm hoping and I think the Democrats will take over both. I really do. I get the sense that they
both the House and the Senate.
Both the House and the Senate. So that means he's going to lose his power. Mm-hmm. So I think that, and if that happens, I wouldn't be surprised if his spineless ass has to retire during the middle of his term.
So they'll do like a special election to replace him in 2022.
I wouldn't be shocked if he does. If he decides that, you know what, I have no power, so I'm gonna go ahead and retire. That's his little stupid ass laugh, by the way. And I honestly think Lindsey Graham. I think Lindsey Graham will lose. I really do. I really do think Lindsey Graham will lose because I don't think North Carolina has a lot of problems. Aren't they the ones that yelled the
No,
word?
South.
Yelled, you lied.
That's South Carolina.
That's South Carolina. Okay, so North Carolina's a little bit better.
No. Lindsey Graham is South Carolina.
I'm sorry, South Carolina. Was South Carolina the same one that yelled out "You
Yeah,
lied"?
that's damn it, what's his name? Joe Wilson.
Yeah. So, but remember, let's go back to that. What did John McCain do? He's like, yo, the president is talking. You need to show some respect. Like, the Republicans there told him to basically shut up, show some respect. So it's crazy how it's changed because of this guy in the last 4 years. How he's changed the entire, like, basically saying, hey, you can be as crude and childish as you want. You're still going to win. You know?
Yeah. So, he makes them feel okay about being their worst selves,
exactly.
about being deplorable. Yeah.
And then honestly, I think John Ossoff will win.
I really hope so. I really hope so.
I really do. And then real quickly, want to talk about, I was going to ask you one more prediction with the special election here. We talked about the special election to replace Isaacson. Who do you think? So Raphael Warnock is going to be one of the top two. That's
almost certainly.
So that's a big prediction. And I think Loeffler is going to be the second one. The number two, right? You think it might? Oh, you think what's his name and what's her name?
Yeah, I think it might be Collins.
Really? Phil Collins?
Yeah, I think. Did you say Phil Collins?
No, I said Doug.
Doug Collins. Okay, yeah.
No, he won't be in my heart. Trust me.
Yeah, I think it might be. I think it's gonna be Collins and sorry, I'm updating our NFL tally thingy.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. So you think it's going to be Doug Collins
and Warnock? Yeah.
And what is it, in December that they go? Or January?
January, actually. I thought it was December, but it is January.
Okay. I am going to make a bold prediction.
Okay.
I actually think Raphael Warnock is going to get the 51%. I really think.
Really? That would be fantastic.
I think he has such a popular surge going on right now because the thing is, though, the one thing what negative thing can people throw at him about him?
Yeah. See,
Doug Collins and Loeffler have a lot of baggage.
The one negative thing that people would normally throw at someone like Warnock before is like, oh, he's a pastor. He's probably going to try and legislate, as a super religious person. But he's a pastor on the Democrat side. The Republicans really going to be the ones to be like, oh, I'm not going to vote for a pastor. No, they're not.
Exactly. So he has. I think that's the reason why he surged so well here, is because this is the thing I told you. I would tell you, if I ever ran, I would lean a lot on my Christian principles, because I know I curse a lot, but I have a lot of Christian principles. A lot of my arguments come from Christian principles, because I honestly think, on top of him being my Lord and Savior, Jesus is also a great philosopher about how you should lead your life. And so I honestly lean on those a lot. So if I were to ever run in Georgia, I would lean a lot on them, because the thing is, though, I could also use scriptures against some of the vile things some of these people do.
Yeah.
Right. So I actually think Raphael Warnock might be able to pull off the impossible and actually get the whole 51%.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, because I really don't want to go vote in January. It's cold as shit. But anyway, look, I know that this political section was a little bit dark and ominous. Just basically because of the confirmations and these debates and all that stuff. The bright side is the good news is it's almost over, right? The elections are almost done. The bad news is then we have to figure out what's going to happen after that.
Yeah, I mean, I am so hoping that we have that we have a bright show next time, and it's because the outcome is what we wanted.
Well, not necessarily what we wanted, but what we would prefer, for me.
How is that different?
I prefer a Biden win. I wanted Bernie Sanders, and who would have been his vice president? Who can I think of? And Kanye West. There we go. He would have made Kanye West relevant again.
Gotcha. All right. All right. That ends our politics section.